Third question on profit and loss, slightly lengthy but not that difficult. A man buys 35 kg sugar, so he has a cost price because he has purchased it, and he sets a marked price in order to make a 20% profit. So let me take the cost price as something, and in order to make a 20% profit, he's going to set a marked price. So let's say the cost price is 10 rupees, so 20% above the marked price becomes 12 rupees. Okay? In fact, let's make it 100 and 120 for easier calculations. He sells 5 kg at this price and 15 kg at a 10% discount. So let's start selling. Um, at this price, 120 rupees for 5 kg and then 15 kg at a 10% discount. So on 120 rupees give 10% discount, it becomes minus 12 rupees, 108 rupees. 108 rupees gone. Okay? Accidentally 3 kg of sugar is wasted. So 5 kg has been sold, then 15 kg has been sold, that's 20. Now 3 kg has been wasted, that is 23 kg out of a total of 35. That means 12 kg is left. Now he has to sell this 12 kg. Okay? He sells the remaining sugar by raising the marked price by p%. So let me create another price y after raising by p% at which he sells the remaining 12 kg, so as to make an overall profit of 15%. So let us get to overall profit of 15%. For 35 kg, CP was 100 rupees, profit 15% becomes 115 rupees. When you solve this, you will get the value of y. Use a calculator, it will be 150.4 rupees. Okay? Almost done. So now from 120 rupees, he has sold it for 150.4 rupees. That's approximately an increase of 30.4. It's asking what is the percentage change, 38.4 upon 120 into 100. 30 upon 120 is 1 by 4. Okay, so 1 by 4 into 100 is 25%. D part is the right answer for question number 14 and slightly lengthy question. Question from linear equations where these two equations have a unique solution. For that, we know the underlying condition is a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2. Sorry, is not equal to b1 upon b2, where a is the coefficient of x and b is the coefficient of y. So just take the coefficients, that's k upon 4 हो गए coefficients of x, and y के coefficients are 1 and k, so this is not equal to 1 upon k. So k square should not be equal to 4. If you write it in terms of mod, it means that k is not equal to plus minus 2, or mod k is not equal to 2, and therefore C part is the right answer for this question. Straightforward, elementary from theory. Questions are generally very tricky, and you will probably end up spending time on it but not matching with the right answer, especially when it is theta type. So in this question you have integers from 100 to 999. They have at least one digit repeated. उसके आपको integers count करने हैं. At least one digit repeated means either the digit has been is occurring 2 times or 3 times. Okay? So what if the digit is occurring 3 times in a 3-digit number? That's basically 111, 222, 333 up till 999. These are 9 such numbers. The only thing that we have to calculate now is when the digit is occurring twice. For example, let me take 11. Now, if 11 is occurring and I have a 3-digit number, maybe that 1 is occurring in the first position, or maybe the 2 ones are occurring in the second and third position. So I will have to make cases over here. Okay? Second and third position. So now let's look at this case. अगर फर्स्ट पोजीशन में 1 आ चुका है, now out of the second and third position, one of them will contain a 1. So there are 2 possibilities. And then the last remaining position for which there are 10 digits available but 1 cannot be used, so 9 digits are available. And in this particular space, You have a total of 10 digits, but 1 and 0 are not allowed because we have to create 3-digit numbers. So 8 possible uh, numbers that can be fit in. This gives me a total of 26 possible numbers for the case of 1 1. Similarly for 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 up till 9 9. So basically I get a total of 26 into 9 cases. What 9 for the digits 1 to 9. Okay. Now which case did I not consider? 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. I did not consider 0 0. So what are the numbers that can be found with 0 0? Those are 9 numbers. Those will be 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 up till 900. These are 9 such numbers, and of course right at the top these 9 numbers where the digits are repeating thrice. So we add these 9 as well. This total will give you 252 as the right answer, and this was indeed you needed to be so methodical, so patient, and then hope that you are getting into the right answer. So definitely tough and worth leaving. Question from averages. A batsman played n+2 innings and got out on all occasions. His average score was 29. So the total becomes 29 into n+2. Okay? And he scored 38 and 15 in the last 2 innings. That means initial n innings I need to know about. 29 into n+2. Okay? 38 and 15 in the last 2 innings. The batsman scored less than 38 in each of the first n innings, but it does not say if the scores are distinct. Okay? They might have been all of them same scores. Okay? Each of the first n innings. In these n innings, his average score was 30. So now I can write down the total. His average score was 30 and lowest was x. Find the value of x. So 29 into n+2 is equal to average score was 30 in n innings. That's 30 into n plus the last 2 innings scores of 38 and 15. If you will solve this, immediately you will get the value of n is equal to 5. Okay? Which means that the first 5 innings, they have a total of an average value of 30, right? यहाँ पे दिया हुआ था. His average score was 30 runs. So 30 into 5 is 150. So let me write down the scores of the first 5 matches. Lowest is X, and then other 5 scores, let it be B, C, D, E, is equal to 30 into 5, 150 runs. Now, it says that find the minimum value of X. In order to find smallest value of X, all of these other 4 values should be as large as possible. And what is the largest that I can give? यहाँ इसको minimize करना है, इसको maximize करेंगे. What is the largest that I can give? It said that the batsman scored less than 38 in each of the first n innings. So the largest that I can give less than 38 will be 37. 38 se kam. 37 for 4 matches. What is 37 into 4? 148. Out of 150, if 148 has gone over here, then x becomes 2. So your answer is 2 for this particular question. Nice question on maxima minima. Answer is 2. A nice and interesting question on averages depending upon how you interpret it. You have basically 2 alcohol solutions A and B mixed in the proportion 1:3 by volume. Let me take A and B. 1:3. Let me take K and 3K. So the total becomes 4K. Okay? Now, the volume is then doubled by adding solution A. So doubled means it now becomes 8K and B is the same, that is 3K. So therefore, A becomes 5K. Volume mixture A has now been added. 4K has been added, right? From K you have added 4K to become 5K. Basically it became double 8K, of which B was 3K, so A was 5K. So A and B are mixed in the ratio 5:3 basically. And resulting mixture has 72% alcohol, A has 60%, find B. Very basic now, standard question. 5:3 ratio of mixing at the top. Mixture for A, 60% alcohol, Overall mixture has 72% alcohol, and let's say that the B solution has B% alcohol. Cross subtract 60
Alert from your
72.
disk is almost full.
Oh, cross subtract 60 72 is 12%, and over here becomes B minus 72%, and this ratio is 5 upon 3. 5 upon 3 is B minus 72 upon 12. 3 se gaya 4 times, 5 fours are 20. B is equal to 92%, and B part is your right answer for this question. Straightforward. This is a standard question which is a mixture of coordinate geometry as well as normal geometry, which is what makes it a little fascinating, but it's not that difficult at all. You have the vertices of a triangle provided at 0 0 over here, 4 0. Let me just draw it approximately. That's 4 0, and 3 9. That becomes 3 9, and that is my triangle. The area of the circle passing through these 3 points. Area of the circle passing through these 3 points would become its circumcircle, whose area can be written as pi capital R square, and the radius is called circumradius capital R, whose formula is given as ABC upon 4 delta, where ABC are the sides of the triangle or the length of the sides of the triangle, and delta is the area of the triangle. So I can find all of this information with the current coordinates provided. So let me calculate a square, distance between the first two of the points, for example these two, that's 9 minus 0 square plus 3 minus 0 square, and that is 90. Then the second side is basically, oh okay, so I want to find out pi r square, area of the circle. Second side is of course 4, right at the bottom, and the third side again is going to be distance formula, 9 minus 0 ka square plus 3 minus 4 ka square. 3 minus 4 is 1. 3 minus 4 is minus 1 ka square, which becomes same as 1 square, and this becomes 82. Let me quickly calculate the area of this triangle represented as delta, half base altitude, half. This will be the altitude from 0 to 9 at a y coordinate of 9, and the base becomes 4. So now we finish off the calculations. Half altitude into base, that becomes 18. Let's calculate area, pi r square, which is pi a square b square c square upon 16 delta square. Substitute all the values. A square is at the top, 90, b square is 4 square 16, c square becomes 82 upon 16 into 18 square. Simplify, cancel out, 16 gone, 18 se gaya 5 times, 2 se gaya 9 times, and you get 205 pi divided by 9. C part is the right answer for this question. This is a question from SICI. A person has invested a certain amount of money at 10% annual interest compounded half yearly. 10% half yearly means 5% every 6 months. He keeps getting 5% every 6 months is the meaning of 10% compounded half yearly. After 1.5 years, that means 5% 3 bari, interest and principal together became 18522. Okay? 5% 3 bari. Principal became 18522. So principal into 1.05, because an increase of 5% becomes 105% or 1.05. ये 3 बारी is equal to 18522. Use a calculator to divide. You get your principal as 16,000. 16,000 is the right answer for question number 20. Alright, this is a very simple question on TSD, basic concept of relative speed. You have A and B railway stations who are 90 kilometers apart. ये हो गए A and B. A train leaves A at 9 a.m. heading towards B at a speed of 40. So let me draw speed of 40 at 9 a.m. Another train leaves B at 10:30, moving at a speed of 20. 10:30 moving at a speed of 20. The trains meet each other at, very simple question. Let me take both of them to 10:30, right? So train A is now going to travel till 10:30 a.m. That is 1.5 hours. 40 into 1.5 becomes 60 kilometers over here out of 90. So the distance between them is now 30 kilometers. At 10:30, distance between them is 30 kilometers. Time of meeting is distance between them 30 divided by relative speed. Sum of speeds ho jayega because they are moving towards each other, 40 plus 20. This calculation has been done at 10:30 a.m. That's half an hour. After 10:30 a.m., that becomes 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. is your right answer, B part. And that was a straightforward question. Question on TSD, which is slightly long, and we will use a very efficient technique to solve it, which is basically proportionality, because the distance from office to home is constant. So Vimla starts every day at 9 a.m. She reaches exactly on time if she drives at a speed of 40. She is late by 6 minutes if she drives at 35. So speeds are given of 40 and 35. Ratio is 8:7. So then the time taken will now be inversely proportional because distance is constant, at 7:8. The gap between these two the instances, 7:8, 7 parts and 8 parts, is one part, and in this one part there's a gap or late by 6 minutes. So one part is 6 minutes, so 7 parts, which is the initial time taken to travel, becomes 7 into 6, 42 minutes. So I can quickly calculate the distance, which is speed into time, 40 into 42 upon 60, convert to hours. ये गया 2/3, 3 से गया 14 times. The distance is 28 kilometers from home to office. Now we continue. One day she covers 2/3 of her distance to office in 1/3 of her usual time. ठीक है? And then she stops for 8 minutes. So 42 minutes का 1/3 is 14 minutes, and then she stops for 8 minutes, that's 22. Now remaining time is 20 minutes. Then the speed at which she should drive the remaining distance, what is remaining? 2/3 of 28 is done, 1/3 of 28 remains, okay, to reach exactly in time. So speed, let's say speed to be calculated is S1. 28 upon 3 is left, 1/3 of 28 divided by time taken, remaining time 20 minutes. Minutes converted to hours, 60. That's 1/3, 3 cancelled. 28 is the right answer, and that will be B part. Very efficient way of solving when proportionality can be used. Good. This is a very nice question, well worth leaving alone in the exam. You have m and n are positive integers, and two quadratics are mentioned. They have real roots. Real roots means d greater than equal to 0. Then the smallest possible value of m plus n is. Okay? So now we'll take d greater than equal to 0. That's m square minus 4 into 2n is greater than equal to 0. यानी कि m square is greater than equal to 8n. ठीक है? And for the second quadratic also, 2n square हो गया 4n square minus 4 into m is greater than equal to 0. यानी कि n square is greater than equal to m. Let me write these out properly. Then the smallest possible value for m plus n is, I want the smallest, so let me try to take smallest integers. So let me take n as 1, smallest. If n is 1, then I get 8 into 1 is 8. M square greater than 8, smallest m square greater than 8 I will take as 9. If m square is 9, that means m is 3. And m अगर 3 आ गया तो अभी मेरा n square क्या आ रहा है 1. So 1 is not greater than equal to 3. So this is not working out. n equal to 1 did not work. Let me try n equal to 2. So 8 into 2, 16. M square greater than equal to 16. Smallest perfect square is 16. That means m is 4. m 4 आ गया and n was 2, so n square becomes 4. Is 4 greater than equal to 4? Correct? Yes, it is. So for smallest possible value of n equal to 2, I have a valid scenario, and m plus n में m4 आ जाएगा, n2 आ जाएगा. 4 plus 2, 6 is the right answer for this question. The answer is B part. But it was well worth leaving alone in the exam, because this was a little complex, obviously. Now this is a very simple question on geometry, and you need to draw the figure yourself. There's a trapezium ABCD. AB and CD are the parallel lines. BC is perpendicular to DC. So one of the other sides is perpendicular to the other. So this is what your trapezium will look like. And angle BAD is 45 degrees. I've drawn another perpendicular over here. Angle BAD is 45. ये BAD हो गया यहाँ पे 45 degrees. ठीक है. And now BC is perpendicular to DC in my diagram. तो ये आप BC is perpendicular to DC, ये दोनों 90 degrees angles बन गए. So this is also 90. ये वाला angle भी 90 हो गया. ठीक है. So in this triangle, when you have 90 and 45, then this third angle is also going to become 45. And I can use a little bit of trigonometry also now. Achha, DC is 5, BC is 4. So this side will also become 4 because opposite parallelogram ban gaya, opposite sides are equal. So tan 45 I will use in this triangle, which is going to be DE upon AE, and tan 45 is 1. So DE is equal to AE. DE equal to AE. So this is also 4, AE is also 4, and when this is 5, this is also 5. Opposite sides are equal. And now find the area of the trapezium. Half into sum of parallel sides 5, and 5 plus 4, 9. 5 plus 9. And altitude is 4. Get the area as 28. The answer is 28 for this question. Question from coordinate geometry, and it will again be using the properties of geometry as well because parallelogram has been mentioned. So you have these 2 points, they are opposite vertices of a parallelogram. So let me mark 2, 1 here and -3, -4 here. Okay? And they are opposite vertices of a parallelogram. So when I will join the two diagonals, they are going to bisect. And the midpoint of the diagonal can be found using midpoint theorem. So this point will be 2 minus 3 upon 2. That's -1 by 2. And the other coordinate will be 1 minus 4 upon 2. That's -3 by 2. Okay? Obviously, this point now lies on the other diagonal. So it says that if the other two vertices lie on the line x plus 9y plus c equal to 0. The other two vertices are B and D. The other two vertices lie on this line x plus 9y plus c equal to 0, and this point also lies on this line. That means this point will satisfy this line. So let me just substitute. X की जगह डालो -1 by 2, y की जगह डालो -3 by 2, plus c is equal to 0. Get the value of c. C is equal to 14. C part is the right answer for this question. This is a nice question on algebra and a little tricky to do, but fortunately most people did not reach this question if it was towards the end of the paper, right? So how many pairs of positive integers are there, one less than equal to the other obviously, such that their product is 4 to the power 2017. A into B is 4 to the power 2017. We'll write 4 as 2 square, becomes 2 to the power 4034. A is less than B and eventually becomes equal to B. So we'll give the smallest value to A, 2 power 0. B becomes 2 power 4034. Then A ko de do 2 power 1. B becomes 2 power 4033. Then 2 power 2, 2 power 4032. And so on. This process continues until they both become equal. A and B. A is constantly increasing, B is decreasing until they both become equal. And that becomes 2 to the power 2017 each. Count the number of cases, 2 power 0 to 2 power 2017. You get a total of 2018 cases. The answer is 2018. And that's the last question of this paper. So now when we come to the analysis and cutoffs for the evening slot, we observe that again the paper was very heavy on arithmetic and algebra, where you had 11 questions in arithmetic, 10 in algebra. 3 questions were from geometry, 2D, 3D, coordinate geometry, mensuration, etc. There was one P&C question, and there was one question from the chapter on numbers. When you look at the cutoffs, 85 percentile cutoff you needed just 8 correct questions, whereas 95 percentile cutoff was 12 correct questions to take you to 36 marks, and 99 percentile was at 16 questions out of 26, slightly above the 50% mark. And in 60 minutes, was it a 60-minute paper? It was actually a 40-minute paper. So in 40 minutes, in order to do 16 questions, would have been approximately 2.5 minutes per question. So we are therefore expecting that the paper would have been very fairly straightforward. So let us simply go through, according to me, the questions that were really, really easy to do. All right, so now this was sequence series was a little challenging to spot the pattern. Question 2 was very straightforward, just the ranges of x and y. This was of course a tough question on logs. Question 4 was straightforward, time and work. Fifth, plotting the graphs is always tricky. Sixth was the easiest question of the paper on averages. Seventh was a fancy concept of numbers. Eighth was basic percentages and equation formation. Ninth was a standard question from functions but was a little out of range for many people. 10th was basic properties of log. 11th was a little complex by applying log and then solving it, and slightly lengthy as well. 12th definitely challenging. 13th was direct question on TSG. 14th was 14th was a little tricky and lengthy, a lot of language and comprehension involved. So I will put this in the medium category question. 15th was direct from simple equations. 16th was tough from PNC, you had to skip it. 17th was using maxima minima, always challenging. 18th was very, very easy. So I'm trying to find really, really easy questions. 19th was very, very direct. You just needed to know the formula for the circumradius. 20th was direct SICI, CI in fact. 21st was also direct based upon relative speed. 22nd was a little lengthy and complex in terms of using proportionality. 23rd was tough, quadratics and inequalities. 24th was very direct, trapezium and its area. 25th was also direct, that was parallelogram properties. And 26th was a little tricky. So if I am to note down the list of all of the questions which according to me were really, really straightforward, if you had the vision to be able to decide that okay, these are the ones that I need to do, which of course is easier said than done. Unfortunately, क्वेश्चन को करने के बाद पता चलता है कि अरे ये तो नहीं करना था. So we are just spotting the really, really doable questions. That was 2, 4, 6, 8. 13, 10, 13, then 15. That means that in the first, and then 18th. Among the first 18 questions, you had only 7 questions that were very, very doable. उसके बाद लाइन से questions आसान होते जा रहे थे. 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 25. So it takes a lot of guts in the paper to skip a question कि नहीं ये मुझसे नहीं हो रहा, let me move. So these are a total of 5, 9, 13 questions. 13 questions were very, very doable, and obviously could have taken you to the 95 percentile mark. And beyond this, in order to reach 99, of course, you needed to be an exemplary student. So that's where we'll stop. The analysis and cutoffs are complete. According to us, this paper was of a fairly decent level when only 13 questions were manageable and straight, very doable. Beyond that, you needed some sort of competence to do well in this paper. Until next time, thank you.